The very first US-Iran nuclear talks in many years have begun in Oman. Iran says that the two sides have entered into indirect talks via an intermediary in the Omani capital city of Muscat. Now, Trump has repeatedly threatened to unleash airstrikes targeting Iran's nuclear program if a deal is not reached. Now, the American president prefers a nuclear deal rather than direct military confrontation with the Islamic Republic. Now, key regional players like Saudi Arabia have also shifted strategies, favoring engagement over confrontation with Tehran. Now, Iran says that it is giving diplomacy a chance and is hoping to reach a fair deal with the US-Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, saying that any deal will require the US to lift its sanctions on Tehran.
Our intention is to reach a fair and honorable agreement from an equal position, and if the other side also comes from the same position, then hopefully there will be a chance for an initial understanding that will lead to a path of negotiations. The team that accompanies me is made up of friends who are experts and knowledgeable in this particular field and who have a history of negotiating on this issue. We participated with the necessary seriousness.
Now, Trump's negotiator Steve Witkoff says that the US position begins with the demand that Iran should completely dismantle its nuclear program, a view of the hardliners around Trump that few expect Iran would ever accept. Now, responding to Trump's threat, Iran has said that it will expel the United Nations nuclear inspectors, a move that Washington warns would be a clear escalation. While the West has maintained that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, Iran says that its facilities are for research purposes. But recently, Khamenei's advisors have said that if the West continues to pressurize Iran, then it will not have any other option but to resort to nuclear weapons. Now, experts say that the high-stakes nuclear talks show strong desire by both nations to resolve the issues through diplomacy. But the meeting will require a technical follow-up.
Personally, I don't believe that today's meetings in Muscat will resolve all of these issues. These matters require technical teams. Nuclear weapons and the specifics of nuclear limitations demand specialized expertise. Foreign ministers address political matters and can discuss the political framework, but these issues, with all their complexities, require the involvement of technical delegations.
While the US can offer sanctions relief for Iran's beleaguered economy, it still remains unclear just how much will Iran be willing to concede. Now, under the 2025 Iranian nuclear deal, Iran could only maintain a small stockpile of uranium enriched to 3.67%. Now, today, Tehran's stockpile could allow it to build multiple nuclear weapons if it so chooses, and it has some material enriched up to 60%, a short technical step away from weapons-grade levels. And we earlier spoke with Dr. Paul Dorfman, who joined live from Paris. Listening to what he had to say.
The older agreement, the JCPOA, which was agreed by Iran, Europe, and the US, had a chance of working insofar as Iran's weapons enrichment was being processed, was being investigated by the IAEA. And so we knew what was going on, basically. Trump in 2018 pulled out of that, and that caused a huge rift, and that caused essentially this current crisis. So on the one hand, Iran needs a deal to free up its economy. On the other hand, the US is very concerned about Iran's nuclear capacity. And meanwhile, Israel is making some very strong noises about potentially attacking Iranian nuclear weapons production facilities. So it looks to be a very difficult and dangerous period. And what's needed here at the moment are clear heads and a sense of compromise and a sense of where we are in the world.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.